Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unsolved Murders, True Crime Stories. I am, of course, your host, Elliot, here with my co-host, Skylar.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And we're going to sit here and talk about bullshit and TV shows and video games and anime and, I don't know, Gundams and just a whole bunch of stuff and true crime.
Get ready to have your mind blown.
That's right.
This is going to be the episode that puts us on the map.
This is the one. The Dirty Dozen, I think. That's what it is.
I think so.
Nice. Episode 12, everybody. Can you believe it that we haven't given up on it yet? Because
I can't.
Because I can't. Yeah.
12 weeks. 12 weeks. Calendar year.
Yeah. 12 weeks isn't a calendar year.
I said of a calendar year.
Oh, I didn't hear the of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, not quite.
Man.
We're not there yet.
No. But we will, because I want to get a soundboard with shit, goofy sounds to play.
Be like a radio host.
Yeah.
Just a fart button.
That's right. Do exactly what the radio stations do, except we're the radio station. Isn't that what podcasting is all about?
I mean, yeah. I mean, essentially most radio stations have a 2-hour segment in the morning that is a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Except they're like censored, and the FCC won't let them be. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they can't get away with some shit though. I mean,
that's true. They can. They can skirt around you can't say straight up bad words. You can't be like these fuck toys that we're giving away, but they can be like, hey, we're giving away a bunch of adult products or something, and it's like a dildo giveaway.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and the topics they can discuss, it's...
Yeah, I don't know if they can say dildo on the radio.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I don't listen to enough to know.
Yeah, I have an aux cable in my car, so the terrestrial radio is just an extra.
Yeah, the boomer radio.
Yeah, boomer radio. Which isn't even AM radio, AM radio is like super boomer radio.
Oh yeah.
Or like whatever I forget what the generation is called before the boomers.
The silent generation?
The silent movie generation?
I think it's silent because of World War I.
Oh. And everybody was silent back then.
I guess. Is it the greatest generation before boomers?
Oh, the greatest generation. That sounds right. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh. The silent generation?
That is a thing.
A whole generation of mimes we have to worry about now. Come on.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb. I don't know why we were talking about that.
Greatest generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, it goes the greatest generation, then the silent generation, then baby boomers.
Oh, okay.
They were raised during a period of war and economic depression.
Oh, okay.
1925 to 45.
The generation that went into the war
After World War One. Yeah, into World War Two.
After World War One.
So like Great Depression.
World War Two.
Would be.
Yeah, the 30s, right?
20s to 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds right.
That's interesting.
Nice. Huh. I just learned something. This is now an educational podcast.
I like to fact check just to make sure.
Nice. I didn't even that was good. I didn't hear you typing or anything. I would have to be looking at my phone. I guess I can do that, but I can't really look at my phone the same time as I'm talking, because then I'll just lose track of what I'm saying. Right now, I'm looking at my phone, if you can't tell. Anyway, this is a great show, and I'm glad that everyone is here to listen.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Honestly, thank you for tuning in. I do kind of feel bad sometimes that I feel like I'm not putting on a good show, you know?
Who cares?
But, no, right? Everybody else does that. Every other podcast they're putting on an act for you.
Oh, sure.
I'm not putting on an act.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're not putting on an act. We're just two guys talking about stuff and things, and
yeah, and always telling the truth about everything.
Trying to. Doing our best.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man. It was a long weekend. Happy Cyber Sex Monday.
Yeah, happy Cyber Sex Monday. You get any good deals on electronics or other goods?
No. I almost did. I sat at my computer for a minute and did some shopping because, like, you know, you get 1,000 billion emails from everywhere that you've ever bought anything online for that's like, hey, come check out our deals. So I did, and I was about to spend like $50 on some really good coffee, and then I was like, nah, let me see what else is going on. And then I was gonna order like a new vape, and I put everything in the cart, and it was another like $50, and I was like, let me see what else I can buy. And then and then I was like, what am I doing? I'm just I'm just putting things in the cart and like almost pulling the trigger of buying it, but then not doing it. Just, I don't know, like I don't know what's wrong with me, man.
Yeah, I mean, they still get all that data on you, so I guess it's a win.
Yeah, I suppose, payday for them, but
yeah, you just gave them a bunch of free data just by having that shit in your cart.
Yeah, shit. Well, now I feel really dumb about doing that.
I mean, you can't help it. It's, just throw. I mean, I do it too. I think everybody does it. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks about their personal data being harvested and used for ads targeted directly at their demographic.
Yeah. That's why I never answer the YouTube surveys every time. And it's always like, answer a quick survey for us. What is your age? And I'm like,
Yeah, Google's pretty hardcore about it. So is Amazon.
Yeah.
I guess Amazon doesn't really need to be, since they just aggregate all that data. It's like, oh, this guy buys coffee and vapes. Well, he's probably in the whatever 20 to 30 plus age range. They can just take that. They can extrapolate that from.
That's true. Yeah.
What you put into your cart or what you click on.
This guy put 2 bags of coffee in his cart. He probably has a super successful podcast.
Yeah. That's why you got to throw like a really super expensive microphone and a soundboard and stuff in there, so that way they know.
Yeah.
They know that you have a...
Just like How to Podcast for Dummies book or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a book like that out there.
And like a giant safe. But you have to type into the search bar safe for lots of money.
Yeah.
So that way they know you're rich too.
That's why I occasionally just Google, rich people things like how much caviar can I fit in a bathtub? I've never done that. I'm lying, you guys. I'm sorry.
You never looked up how much caviar you could fit in? I'm sure you could fit a lot, but it'd be very expensive.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there is caviar on the lower end. You can get like a $20 can. I'm sure it's not as good as like the $500 Gucci, but
yeah,
probably still tasty.
Assume like
If you
like real caviar is from like some kind of really fancy regal fish, and then like the cheaper caviar is just like, you know, catfish eggs or something.
You know, I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I've never had caviar.
It might just be how it's prepared, or, you know, could
Huh.
all come from the same fish, but it's like a brand thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's this brand of caviar, and it's super fancy, even though it's the same shit. It's still salmon eggs or whatever.
Yeah, like a super obscure brand is probably the best caviar versus like, I don't know, Bumblebee caviar, like
Yeah, like a star-kissed caviar.
Starkist. Yeah,
It's just
I don't know.
fish eggs.
Maybe they're big caviar, and I'm just talking shit. But
Maybe.
I don't know.
But a bathtub full of it? Yeah, that's one thing I think a rich person would Google at least once.
Yeah, you would think, and then as I imagined it too, it'd be like a rich person's bathtub. So it'd be like a fucking huge, you know, tub with like jets and a rain shower head over it.
Solid
and, like,
gold.
Yeah, like gold plating steps into it, and like a gold handrail, because like you're gonna be old if you're gonna be that rich, or like if you're if you're not old and you're that rich, you can pretend to be old. So like that's why that's my dream. That's my dream tub, filled with caviar.
Filled with caviar and wine.
Yeah.
Mixed.
And that and that's my goal in life, is just to have that, just to sit in my caviar filled gigantic tub and then turn on the the shower head that's like a rainforest, and then just like, I don't know, drown. Like
It's good to dream. It's good to have dreams. Good to set goals.
that's right. That's right. If you don't have a goal, what's the point of even trying anything,
There isn't. There is no point.
There isn't.
I'm trying to think of other things like rich people would Google that's just crazy. The only thing that comes to mind is how much wine would it take to fill a toilet?
like the toilet, like the whole, just the toilet bowl.
Yeah,
or
like
the,
how much wine
the
would I
back
need
part
to make
too?
it run a couple times?
I don't know, logic. No, spitballing, I would say like,
A couple gallons at least.
yeah, a couple gallons. I was trying to think of like in terms of bottles, like
Oh no, we'd be getting casks, boy.
it'd be, yeah.
I mean, probably one
feel
cask
like
would do it, if you just fill up that top tank, and then maybe this would be for a party,
just have
obviously.
that
People
hooked
wouldn't
up.
be using it. I mean, you'd be
Yeah.
pushing your face into it and drinking it. Indulging. At least I hope nobody would use it, but...
Yeah, I mean, you would hire like a big beefy dude to stand by it, and when you say, okay, go for it, and then he just like grabs the back of your head and shoves it in the toilet, and you have to drink as much wine as possible until you like tap out, and then he's like,
Sounds like...
he like spits in your face.
Sounds like something someone with a bully fetish would do.
Yeah. Just relive your glory days, baby. But it's but it's wine in the toilet,
Yeah.
and that's the twist.
That's the twist. It's good wine too, like very, very
It's good.
expensive
Yeah.
wine. Like there's that one wine that's like $2,000 a bottle, but it's not because of the wine. It's because it has like a 14 karat thing imprinted on it. It'd be like,
What?
yeah, I can't remember what wine it is, but it's like the cost isn't because of the wine. It's because they put a 14 karat diamond on it, on like the logo.
Jesus. On just like the label on the bottle.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's like super expensive. I think it's one of the most expensive in the world, but it's just because of that. It's not
Man.
because of the quality of the wine. I'm sure the quality is still very good, but
Maybe. I mean, fuck. It could just be a bunch of blends of red wine thrown together from like, shitty runoff
like box
wine.
wine.
Yeah. And then it's, yeah, oh, this was would you say $10,000 a bottle?
Yeah, it's like $2,000, I think.
Okay, still, I mean, that would be like 10,000 a case, maybe.
Yeah, it'd be very expensive.
And it's ludicrous, is what it is. That's just insane.
I mean, and like the average person can't really taste the difference. I mean, I'm sure, like, with red wine or, wine in general, you could probably taste the difference between a $20 bottle and a $100 bottle. But I don't think unless you're what are they called? Sommelier?
Sommelier, yeah.
You probably can't really taste those, But those guys are, like, trained. They're like, oh, this is from this exact, this vineyard, and it was aged exactly this long and whatever. And it's like, average person ain't going to be able to tell the difference between, a $100 bottle of wine and a $1,000 bottle of wine, I don't think. That might just be poor person talk, but...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I like some red wine, but... I mean, I feel like I can tell the difference between, like, a $10 grocery store wine and, like, a $45, $50 splurgy wine.
Well, sure, yeah.
But maybe that's just my imagination.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's like a fucking $8 bottle of whiskey versus $45. Oof. You can tell the difference between that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anything above, like, way above that limit, it's kind of... I think it's diminishing unless you're like a real snob about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you would... The only way... I'm not going to say only way. The way that you become a sommelier is to, like, experience all these different kinds of grapes in these certain regions and certain time periods and stuff. Like, that's the only way you can do that. There's no way you could just, like... read a book about grapes grown in a certain region of France during a certain time period and then be able to point that out later on, I feel like you would have to experience, like, a ton, like, a absolute shit ton of wine to be able to, like, be that specific about it.
I would assume so, yeah.
That's just bizarre to me.
You also have to boof it. That's also how you become a sommelier.
That's the secret, is that you could really tell the fucking differences in grape texture if you...
if you boof it.
Man. It would be fancy. It would be fun to be a sommelier, I think, but nah, that's not the life I was born into, I don't think.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you could put on a resume and it'd be like, what? Yeah. Like, yeah, you just pull out your little ID card that I'm sure they all get. It's like professional wine taster.
Yeah. Yeah, but he would be interviewing for, like, a catering company or something.
It would be a greeter at Walmart.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm a sommelier. Check out my card. Oh, that's cool. Is $9.75 an hour okay? Sounds good.
Sounds great.
You can start tomorrow.
You guys have a wine section, perchance?
God damn.
But yeah, a toilet filled with wine, that would probably be my rich person dream. Yeah. It'd have to be like a solid gold or platinum toilet or something.
Yeah, I was imagining it as a gold toilet, yeah. And then it would be a super fancy champagne, is what I was thinking, too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the dream.
It'd be pretty sweet.
Or to have the wine poured through diamonds, like filtered through diamonds directly into my mouth. Kind of like that vodka, that Crystal Skull vodka.
Yeah.
That was actually created by one of the Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's fucking crazy. He's nuts.
He is, dude, he's wild. Holy moly. The whole diamond filtration shit, like, I've watched videos on it, and I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking
Herkimer
sense.
diamonds, which are like
Herkimer
fake diamonds or something. And distilled through 7 times through Herkimer diamonds.
Man, it's fucking crazy. It's good-ass vodka, though.
Yeah,
it is
all
fucking
right.
delicious.
It's okay.
But,
you pay for the
couldn't
bottle.
tell the difference between... Yeah.
I mean, you're really just paying for the bottle.
Yeah, I have one on my shelf right now. But it's good vodka.
Yeah. I think Grey Goose is better, but...
Probably. I don't know if I've had Grey Goose. I feel like I've had Grey Goose.
It's like
I don't know.
one of like the name brand top shelf vodka at most, liquor stores. There's obviously better ones, but for somebody that's making decent money, it isn't just getting Bartons or whatever all the time.
Oof. Ooh,
good old...
the plastic bottle vodkas.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're really living Gucci when you drink those on the reg.
Oh man. Yeah, when you need your vodka bottles to not shatter because you're stumbling around so much.
Because you're fucking wasted.
That's why those bottles exist. Plus, they're cheap to make.
Yeah,
so,
easy to mass produce.
Yeah.
There is this vodka. It's very, very cheap. But it's not too bad. It's called Behind Bars.
What?
It's called Behind Bars vodka. It's made in Kansas.
Oh.
And it's not terrible. I tried it just because the guy at the liquor store was like, "You got to try this. It's made here in Kansas." It's compared to Barton, it's better, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm the sommelier of hard liquor. Cheap hard liquor. But it it doesn't taste like straight rubbing alcohol. It's a little sweeter.
That's good.
Their whiskey is better, but it's also still not good.
Ooh.
I would rather...
Is it spelled Behind Bars with a Z?
No.
No. That's a red flag.
No, it's just Behind Bars.
Okay.
I would say if you're hard up, give it a shot. But for, $10 to $15 more, you can get something way better.
Yeah.
Depending on how you drink it. I mean, if you're just shooting it straight, then whatever works usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, after your first couple shots, like, the alcohol burns all the germs in your mouth and you can't really taste or feel anything anymore. So
that's exactly how it works. Also, if you drink that really like Barton, for example, if you spill it on the coffee table, just get a rag, wipe it up. Works the same way as rubbing alcohol. Get your table clean without having to use any harsh chemicals or expensive harsh chemicals.
Expensive harsh chemicals, unlike alcohol. And
we're talking cheapo.
Oof. Well, is a bottle of Barton cheaper than like a bottle of
like rubbing alcohol?
Sol?
No, it's more expensive.
Oh. Well, shit.
I'm just saying, it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. You get really drunk, you make a mess. You don't have to go that far. Just go grab some paper towels, wipe it up, and it's like new. You don't have to get all the harsh chemicals out and clean off your coffee table.
Yeah. And because it disinfects, you can then squeeze that paper towel soaked with vodka into your mouth.
Yeah.
And none of it goes to waste.
That's right.
This is just advice that we like to give out on this show.
Pro tip, don't let alcohol go to waste.
Don't let it go to waste. Squeeze that paper towel.
Right into your mouth. Or boof it.
Or boof it, yeah. That's always a viable option.
Want to get the most out of your drugs or alcohol, just boof it.
I mean, what else are you gonna use your asshole for, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's good advice. Something I've lived by. And look where I'm at today. I have a very successful podcast.
That's correct. That's
But seriously, kids, do not boof alcohol. That would probably kill you.
Yeah, I think it does. I think you will die.
I'm pretty sure, that will kill you. And most drugs will probably too.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, pretty much anything. I don't know. I don't think if it has like a psychoactive effect, I think it's just super duper enhanced in your butthole.
Yeah. But alcohol getting into your bloodstream like directly is definitely not a good thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to cocaine.
Bypasses the liver. Cocaine might be one of the safer things to boof.
I think it is.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's... I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll let you know.
Yeah. We'll report back. Man, speaking of boofing things, Cowboy Bebop live action. Do we want to even discuss it? I mean,
neither of us has finished it.
I've watched. I think it auto played through like episode 5, but I definitely checked out by like episode 3.
I want to say 3 is about as far as I made it.
Yeah.
Maybe 4? I don't know. Last thing I remember was the fucking Harry Potter dude having a fit after Spike tried to snipe him or something. That's the last thing I remember. That was the end of an episode.
Jesus. The fucking Lucius Malfoy guy.
Yeah. They really did Vicious dirty. I mean, the casting isn't that bad. Honestly, like overall, it's not great, but it's hard for an anime or a live action adaptation to get a 1-to-1. Because anime, like, it just looks goofy. It would look goofy in real life.
It would.
Like, no matter what you do, unless it was like a very down-to-earth, grounded anime, but even then, it still would look goofy.
Yeah.
Just because you can't exaggerate. You can't make the facial exaggerations like they do.
Yes. That is a fair point about fucking any animation style. It was the same way with the CG Lion King, like they looked like lions, but the cartoon one, it was like, yeah, they looked like animals, but they were anthropomorphic enough in their faces to make exaggerated expressions.
Yeah, that's just a big thing I notice with these adaptations. It's not that they're, some are legitimately bad. Cowboy Bebop, I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be. It's just anything translating between those two mediums is very difficult.
For sure.
To pull off.
Yeah. It seemed I don't like the first episode was hype as fuck.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. And then I don't know, after that it just kind of
it's all right. They're deviating a little bit from the plot. I don't have any problems with the casting really at all, except for Vicious. He's the only. Yeah. Don't know why they went that way with him. And Julia, Julia's fine. It's weird that they have her and Vicious be married.
Yeah.
I don't get what that's all about. I'm sure it gets explained later or whatever, but that's just...
Yeah, I went back and rewatched... I couldn't rewatch the entire animated series, but I rewatched Jupiter Jazz Part 1 and 2, and, it was like one of the big serious moments in the show.
Yeah.
And it was just... Yeah, and then thinking about how the live action, I don't know if they even got to that point in the story, but it, like... It's towards, like, the climax of it when he's, like, tracking down Julia and he like runs into Vicious on Jupiter or like Titan, maybe no.
Oh yeah, on
They're
that
not
like
on
snow
Titan.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it was just very, I mean, super super different from the live action. I didn't see, just like in style and tone, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe I went back and picked I thought I thought they were good episodes. Maybe it was a bad example episode to like compare, you know.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they got Vicious completely wrong. That's all there is to it. He's like a over exaggerated villain, like an evil for the sake of being evil. Ha ha ha. I'm also crazy and unwound. When Vicious is like not that, he's like cool, calm, collected. He's a swordsman, you know.
Yeah.
Instead, they just make him out to be this fucking psycho.
Just Jesus.
For some reason, it's like one of his first big scenes is him groveling to the syndicate or whatever, and that's like just not something Vicious in the anime would do.
Yeah. Yeah, like very out of character. Yeah.
I think I said he was kind of reminding me of that dude from In Bruges. I think it was Voldemort was who played him. But you're an inanimate fucking object. You called my kids cunt. That guy just like really over the top. Too much.
Yeah. I've been sent a couple TikToks of other just little snippets of the show out of context, and it was just like I'm not too thrilled, but
no, I'm not either.
You know, it is taking a couple seconds out of context a bunch of times, but it's like, you know, just the visual of what it was like trying to do. Like I don't know,
right?
Man. Yeah,
it's I think it's better than some other, at least from what I've seen, it's better than like Death Note. Yeah, I would say.
I was about to say I hoped this one would be like better than basically all the other live action adapted. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I get you. And I do think it's better. Like I said, the casting is fine for the most part. I think Jet Black, I think his character is very spot on. I don't like what they did with his backstory. I don't that it's like, my daughter. He has to mention his daughter at least once every episode. And then it's like it's like almost comedically tragic because it's like he was a cop, and then I forget what happens, but there's another episode where there's like this whole they're trying to capture this dude where Ed the dog. Ed, is that his name? Yeah, Ed.
The dog is
Ein. Yeah, that's right.
Ed is the little
kid,
boy girl thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's where the Ein, and he's like the whole episode he's trying to get this doll for his daughter, and they're trying to get this bounty from it's this guy who's like using a body swapper thing to turn himself into a black dude with an afro. Anyway, this whole episode, it's building up to this point. There's this antagonistic prick cop that I guess he was like on the force with or something, and then it's revealed at the end that same antagonistic dick cop like married his ex-wife.
Oh,
so he's getting cucked by the dude too, like on multiple fronts. Because like at the end they catch the dude, they're about to take him in, they just like shoot him so they can't get the bounty. And then it's like he takes the dog to his daughter, and the wife's like, man. No, we can't have a dog. Do you know what the taxes are like on those things? And the dad shows up, and or the stepdad, and it's fucking revealed to be the dick cop. It's like, god damn. Poor Jet.
God, that's brutal.
But it's like, that's not, it's not what his backstory is, he was a...
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but he was like a detective or something. I mean, he had that whole episode dedicated to just his backstory.
Yeah.
It had to do with this broken pocket watch and everything, and instead they had to make him this dad getting cucked by some other loser.
Jeez.
Just because it's like, I guess they just wanted to get his backstory done early on instead of way later in the series. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's a quick way of being like, yeah, we'll just fucking get his out of the way. That way we don't have to worry about it. Because it's probably... I assume that's a lot more simple of a backstory than, like, his actual backstory. It's been a long time since I watched the original.
I want to say there's something to do with betrayal and why he's not a cop anymore, why he left the force. Yeah, I know it had to do with that pocket watch that he had, and it was like stuck on a certain time. And then there was that old, like, because he goes back to where he used to work or something, and he hooks up, or not hooks up, but reconnects with his old lover. And I think I think it's kind of the same thing, because I think she's fucking the dude that fucked him over. So it's kind of similar, I think. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch the anime.
Yeah. See, I thought, like, his wife or his child got capped at some point. And there was, like, corruption in the police force, and he was like, no. But I could be inventing this.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I only remember the main points, really.
Yeah. I have no idea. I wanted to, like, rewatch the original series before the live-action one dropped so that I would, know what the fuck was going on. But I forgot a lot of the details, so I'm just watching it, and it's like, something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But, I can't pinpoint it because I mean,
that first episode was spot on.
Yeah.
That was exactly the first episode of the, the pregnant chick, but she wasn't really pregnant. She was just holding all the drugs. So that was all good. But then
I thought that was pretty cool.
Second episode, they started to deviate. Third started to deviate more. And then I just kind of was like, I'll finish it sometime. And it's been like 2 weeks now.
Man.
It didn't hook me.
I paid attention to like the first episode. And then I was like, okay, that was pretty sweet. Well, let's keep going. But at the same time, I'm going to play Pokemon. And I just didn't really look up from Pokemon after... I looked up a few times and I was like, oh, okay, something's going on, but
That's fair.
Yeah,
I tell you, it does not give me hope for the Avatar show they're making. The Last Airbender. Man.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be live action, too.
I heard there was some controversy a while ago that, like, they originally were talking with the creator of the show and, like, was getting his input and stuff, and then, like... they stopped collaborating and he walked away or something.
Something happened. Right. It could be that, because you're right, that's exactly what happened. Is they had the two showrunners, they were working on the show, then something happened and they both ended up leaving, and then not shortly after that, Nick announced that they're going to have their own streaming service, and they're going to like reboot Avatar or something, I guess, but they have the guys working on it again. So
okay,
that could have something to do with it as well. I just, like I said, I do not have any faith in, unfortunately, of Netflix's adaptations, their live action.
Yeah,
somebody must like them somewhere.
Right, somebody has to, because they just keep getting made, and maybe I'm just in the minority who doesn't enjoy translating, something animated into live action. Like, I'd rather a feature movie of a certain series come out if the series is like animated to begin with to just fucking stay animated, you know?
Yeah.
And make a movie and put it in theaters, and then like let its merit live on its own, you know? Like if it's a good movie, people are gonna go see it, even if it's animated.
I mean, isn't that what Dragon Ball did, basically? It was like
I think so.
The movie came out, and then
Yeah.
not long after that, Toriyama was like, no, I'm not going to let the series go out like that. And so then they did Super not long after that.
Yeah, I think
it was animated and was awesome. Or Battle of the Gods, I think, was the animated movie that came out afterwards.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And it completely rebooted the series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, and that was just like a feature movie, wasn't it? Like it just went to theaters.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Which is, that like never happens. But it kind of kickstarted the whole, like, anime movies coming to theaters. That's happening a lot more. Between like Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia, and they do a lot of they replay a lot of Miyazaki movies.
Oh yeah,
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
like those are, you know, they did well.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one I've seen that I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah. But if you told me that they were going to do, like, a live-action Howl's Moving Castle, I mean...
No.
Come on.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you know? Maybe. Would it draw people in because you put some super big-name actor in the role of Howl instead of... I think Christian Bale.
But that was who I immediately... I know that was who had voiced it, but I was like, wow, that'd be perfect, actually.
I think it is who voiced him. That was a bad example because I don't know if a lot of those movies, they had at least one big name American draw, at least for the dubs.
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah. I don't think I've seen. No, I've seen the subtitled version of Princess Mononoke, I think. But any of the other ones, I've only seen like the English dub, and usually there's one or two big name actors who voice characters.
Yeah, so it's weird that you know, there's this whole trend of making these live action animes, because it's who are they for? Anime is really popular here in the West already.
Yeah.
And I don't see the Japanese market being very huge with these live action dubs unless they're Japanese to begin with. Like I've heard the JoJo live actions are actually pretty good, especially the Spoke Kishibe Rohan. I've heard that one's really good, like a really good adaptation.
Oh, they did like a live action version of them?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
And, you know, I mean, we both seen the Death Note one, and that was, you know, it was...
I have not seen the Death Note
one. We watched the Death Note live action. The Japanese one.
Oh, okay. Different, yes. Not the Netflix
one.
one.
No, I'm talking about Japanese live action.
The Japanese live action. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Although that one wasn't that great either, but at least it followed the plot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, at least it somewhat followed it up until the end, but you know, and then all the Red Hot Chili Peppers songs. So that was pretty great.
Right.
Just Stadium Arcadium was that movie's soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't remember it that well. I don't think I finished it, to be honest.
Man. It was a 2-parter, and it was...
I think Willem Dafoe did okay. I mean, I don't think he really understood.
Shit. Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, wasn't he Ryuk?
I think he was Ryuk in the Netflix one.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that was the one I was, talking about. I flip-flopped.
I have not seen the Netflix one.
You haven't? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I watched that one, like, a little bit.
Oh, man. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. Not great. It just did, like, well, he just didn't see, like, he got into the character. It's just like he didn't really seem to, I don't know. No, it's like, why the fuck would Willem Dafoe know who Ryuk is?
Yeah, right?
Does he know what a Shinigami is? Like, no, just like, give me my fucking paycheck.
Yeah. He's not on the, the set of whatever Wes Anderson's next movie is, reading manga and
preparing for the role.
Yeah. And
that's why they should get Patrick Stewart to fucking be an anime adaptation, because he would commit. He would, like, read all of it. He'd read the whole anime.
Oh, man.
All the visual novels and everything. I just don't know what anime
shit.
he could be in.
I know, I'm trying to think of,
yeah. Because that dude, he method acts. He'll read his whole fucking thing.
Man.
I think one of the funniest things, like, I heard is for Oblivion, because he was Uriel Septim, the guy at the beginning of the game.
Oh.
Is, like, Bethesda or whatever, whoever wrote the lore, it was like a huge compendium about this guy's life, the emperor and everything leading up to that moment. And he's in the game for, like, less than 20 minutes. So they got him all prepared for this huge role, and then they kill him off, in, like, that first 20 minutes. I think it's just funny.
Yeah, it's like the tutorial, right? That's just
yeah.
Hey, we have to get out of here. Hey, check it out. You can shoot that bucket. Look at the physics.
Look at the physics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a huge, like, character, whatever, dossier for him. And he read the whole damn thing.
God damn.
At least according to
trooper.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He really he really likes acting.
Yeah. You know what I just thought of that he would be hilarious as is the if he played Igor, the Velvet Room attendant dude in the Persona games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That wouldn't be too bad.
With his, he just has a giant prosthetic nose, but he's Patrick Stewart.
For some reason, my thought was like, oh, he's bald, so he could be Saitama.
Oh,
One Punch Man. Just a thick British accent.
100 push-ups. I can't do a Patrick Stewart accent.
I can't either.
Damn. 100. I can hear it in my brain. But,
yeah. Okay.
Hashtag Patrick Stewart for Saitama.
Yeah. One Punch Man live action.
One Punch Man. We demand a live action One Punch Man just for Patrick Stewart.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
Definitely watch that shit.
100%.
Just for the meme.
Yeah, just because it would just be so good. It would have to be good,
He would need several monologues, which I think happened, internal monologuing. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I think he'd treat the role right.
Which it'll just be him looking bored for the most part.
Yeah. They'd have to have the super stylized, like, whenever he's fighting, the really stylized scenes where it like shows him rearing back to punch something and it gets all, like, crazy.
Ooh, yeah. That was my shoulder popping, if you heard that.
Ouch.
Ugh, sorry. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That's a live action anime adaptation that I would be enthusiastic about.
Netflix, get on it.
Get on it, Netflix. I know that they listen to the show.
They can afford it.
Yes, they can. They have so much money. They have stupid amounts of money. It's insane. They probably have caviar-filled bathtubs at all of their homes.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Apparently the workflow there is like if you aren't actively doing something, you just get fired.
Jesus.
It's like if you go a week without having some kind of project going, you just get immediately fired.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's why they push out so much crap, because,
yeah, that makes sense.
It's definitely a throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they get a hit, sometimes they botch it entirely. Yeah. Good example is Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
Man.
I haven't watched the second season.
Ooh, boy. They really fucked up.
Season 1. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
Spoilers,
That's
but
upsetting.
They shouldn't have fucking killed all. Well, I mean, the whole point is he can die and be put in someone else's body, but
yeah,
the guy that played him in the first season was so good, and it's not the guy the second one wasn't good. He just wasn't as good. It'd be like if they killed off Max Payne and then had somebody else that isn't Max Payne take up his name. Because that was always the vibe I kind of got from him. It's like a noir detective kind of thing. And so, they just, I don't know. I don't know if that's how it is in the books, if that tonal shift was it was just way too stark for me, and I was like, okay. Not as good as the first season. I didn't even finish the second season.
Man, that's upsetting. I mean, it's one thing if it's just like a, yes, it's a different story, so elements are gonna have to change. But if it's a total shift in everything that that it's just like the characters in name, literally, in name alone, then why call it the same thing?
Yeah.
If it's I feel like there have to be elements that carry over,
I mean, it's the same character. It's supposed to be the same character because he has the same chip with his memories and whatever implanted in it. But I don't know. I just didn't, maybe I just liked that first actor too much. And it was just weird going to a new guy.
I can see that. It would be like if they, if the second season of The Witcher came out and Henry Cavill wasn't Geralt, it was, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. But they got mind swapped, so it's still, it still has the same mannerisms and everything, but it's a different character.
Weird.
Yeah.
Now, The Witcher, that was something that fucking stuck, dude. That was solid.
That was really good.
As someone who's read a handful of the books, it is fucking accurate. They've taken some liberties, of course, but
sure,
the main points that they hit, because I think they set it up in a way that each episode would take up one of the short stories, because it was a collection of short stories was the first book, and then it goes on into a whole bunch of stuff. But it was the way it was set up. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how they jumped around a lot to different points in time, but when it all came together at the end, I was like, holy shit, this has all kind of been going on while this this plot A has been happening. And then you kind of get all the backstory and stuff, and it all just coincides into one at the the castle.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The way they did that, because there is a big shift in time in that first one, The Last Wish. There's the story of where he runs into Urchin and Pavette, the parent, Ciri's parents,
Oh yeah.
And, he gets promised Ciri, and then he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna come back, And he, in the books, he doesn't ever plan to come back. He's just like, fuck
he
it.
does
but then eventually he has to.
What is it? I forget what it's called, but it's like he kind of said it jokingly, like, "Oh, I'm gonna come back for your firstborn." And
the law of surprise. Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And it's like he really claimed it. Like just by saying it, he claimed it.
Yep. Which is unfortunate because, like, I don't know if I can't remember if they explained it in the show, but like the law of surprise was something that, or maybe not the law of surprise, but the whole Witcher thing where they're like, when you go home, you have to give me something that you didn't expect would be there for like payment for something.
That's right.
Somebody if they couldn't pay up after killing some monster or something. He was like, okay, well, then you have to give me this as compensation. And usually it was something like in the past, it was like, oh, they were growing, like their potatoes sprouted and he didn't know. So, like, he gets some potatoes or like there was, it was just weird ones, shit that wasn't really like anything great.
So, yeah, then he claimed it and then it was like, oh, she's pregnant.
Yep. It was like, oh, shit, well... It's locked in. Then it becomes like the law of the universe or something.
Yeah, they're like bound by fate.
There's a bunch of like spheres of realms that the conjunction of the spheres was a big deal, and that like set up the whole lore. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
I recommend anybody read those books because they're fucking awesome.
I'm definitely hyped for the second season. I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it's going to be good. COVID obviously put the kibosh on it coming out. But hopefully that just means it'll, be cooked in the oven a little bit longer. It seems like they they fixed the Nilfgaardian armor. From what I've seen. It doesn't look like a wrinkly ball sack anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
Very minor complaint, but it was like, and I know it wasn't like, it's not trying to look like the games, but man, Nilfgaardian armor in the games was sexy as fuck.
Yeah, it's so good. Man.
Like, I get like why the grunts were wearing armor like that, but the generals and stuff should be, wearing plate.
Mm-hmm.
Or the higher ranking Nilfgaardians, I should say. But no, it should be good. I'll definitely, I'll watch it when it comes out. More monster slaying, more Henry Cavill.
Right? What could go wrong with that combo?
It's Netflix, though.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the only thing that could go wrong. Mm-hmm. It seems like they want it to be their Game of Thrones, but hopefully they kind of saw what happened with Game of Thrones and...
Yeah.
Take a lesson from that and don't let it become that. Because that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I've heard enough about just what went on with the ending, and I was like, okay, well.
Yeah.
It was one of those where, like, I was going to read the books before I watched the show, but I never had a chance to watch the show. So I was like, okay, I'll just read the books at some point. And I never did.
Those books are
and then
dense.
The show ended, and I still haven't read any of them, so...
Yeah. I only read the first book, and the first season, I think it was first season and a half, 2 seasons, incorporated it pretty well. It might have just been the first season. I can't remember. But yeah, it was really good. Then I just didn't watch anything after that. I heard it was good up until like the 3rd or 4th season, and they started to... deviate. I don't know if they just ran out of book material or not, but
yeah. Are the books finished finally, or is he still working on them?
No, he's still working on them.
Okay.
The next one is...
He had to take a break to do Elden Ring, right?
I guess. I don't know. The fucking last book came out like almost like 15 years ago or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he is not. and the thing is, it's not even supposed to be the last book either.
What?
Yeah. Damn. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be another Wheel of Time kind of thing, where the author dies and then some other author has to take it up and finish it if his estate allows it. There's also rumors that like he wants everything, all of his notes and shit burned after he dies. So no one can fuck up his masterpiece, and it's just gonna forever be remained unfinished.
Oh man,
I don't think it's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think he got he got all that Game of Thrones money, the show, and Game of Thrones was already a pretty popular book, but the show elevated it. Then he got all Telltale made a game. Now he's got got his clout with fucking Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Dude's probably rich as fuck.
Yeah, he is taking his sweet ass time in writing because he doesn't have to crank out, books every year, or every 2 years, or every 5 years, or anything like that. He can just take a leisurely stroll along whatever path that has been laid out for him for being an excellent writer.
Yeah. Essentially.
Maybe. I haven't read his books, so I can't say if he's an excellent writer or not. But they're pretty popular, so I think it's probably pretty good.
If you like fantasy, high fantasy, it's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. He does go pretty graphic into the sex scenes and violence and stuff, so.
Oh.
A lot of rape, a lot of incest. I mean, it's like.
I guess it's like the Middle Ages kind of high fantasy, but
with magic and shit like that. So, but I mean, it's really good. A lot of just so many threads. Like, it's because it's told through the perspective of multiple different characters. It's not just one character. It's like all these characters all over Westeros, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I have heard of the Hodor chapter. It's just, Hodor a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah. It's it's definitely. I mean, I would say read at least the first book.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'm on the final book of the Cleric Quintet from R.A. Salvatore, so I need to finish that up. And then figure out something else to read, but, I gotta juggle that with all the other bullshit I do to make my time go by faster.
Right.
Okay,
so I was just curious. It looks like there are 5 books right now, and 2 more planned.
Okay.
if what I'm reading here is correct. Winds of winter and a stream of spring. That's insane. Maybe he wants to. Maybe he doesn't really. Maybe he's doing them both in one and just getting it out of the way, so that way he can release one and then have another one banked.
Yeah, I could see that.
But if I remember correctly, the story is at a point where things are starting to converge, and he has so many different, plot points going on that I assume that would be a pain in the ass to manage. It's like hundreds of different plot points across, hundreds of characters.
Jeez Louise. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very,
dense, right? Is the word that you said earlier?
Very dense. Very dense.
Fuck.
Lots of, yeah, you'd have to read it yourself to really see. It's crazy.
I'll get to it one of these days.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm just gonna fucking keep playing video games and shit, cause whatever, right?
Yeah. Do what makes you happy. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's about that time. Do you have any closing remarks before we let the listeners, aka our hostages, go?
If there's anything to take away from this episode, it's don't boof alcohol unless you're a sommelier.
Unless you're a sommelier. And boof anything you want.
Yeah, and boof anything you want. With that, I bid you a fond farewell. Until next time.